guys, welcome back to our Bible lesson for the week. I am not in my house, I'm actually at the church, and this is where I'm going to be from now on for our times together. Before we dive into our story for this week, I want to start with some questions for you and your family. So I want you guys to hear the questions and then pause the video and take some time to answer them together. Got it? Cool. All right. The first one comes from our family time box, and the question is, what are you looking forward to in the next year? This year has been filled with a lot of just really hard things. So when you look to the future, what do you get excited about with this coming year? For me, the thing that I think I'm the most excited about, which might be a little sad, but it's just the reality of it. I really want to go to the movies. I miss going to the movies and having popcorn with all kinds of butter. And I like to take Reese Pieces and sprinkle them into my popcorn. Man, it's so good. So I would really like to go to the movies next year. And supposedly, AMC is coming out with this thing where you can rent theaters with like 20 of your friends. So I hope that's true and I have the opportunity to do that because that would be super fun. All right, our next question comes from our Do You Remember box. And so this is all about trying to get you guys to think about cool memories and to share them with the people around you. So this question is, do you remember a movie or TV show you watched obsessively when you were young? I have two shows that come to mind when I think about this. The first one is Doug. I loved the cartoon Doug when I was younger. Still really like it. Hazel's starting to like it, which is really fun for me. The other show that I liked a lot was Clarissa Explains It All. Between those two shows, I was set. I hope that you guys had fun answering those questions together, and maybe, just maybe, you found out something new about a member of your family, which, when do you ever find that kind of stuff out? So, hope you guys had a good time. Let's get into our Bible story for this week. So this month, we are talking all about gratitude. Gratitude is letting others know that you see how they have helped you. We've all been in situations where we've needed some help, and God has placed really great people around to help us out. Our story today is going to be in Matthew chapter 20. So make sure you stop and get your Bible and open it up so you can follow along with me. Now, this story is a parable. Jesus used to love to teach through stories. It helped people understand what he was really trying to say. So this is a parable all about a man that owned a lot of land. He had a vineyard. One morning, he gets up really early and he goes to the center of the marketplace and he tries to find people to work in his vineyard. He finds some people early in the morning, tells them that he promises to pay them what is fair. He then brings them back to the vineyard and they work the rest of the day. The workers start their jobs, and a few hours later, the owner goes back to the marketplace. This is around 9 o'clock in the morning. He finds even more people standing around and offers to pay them what is fair to go back and join the other workers to get the job done. They agree. He takes them back to the vineyard. They all start working. A few hours goes by, and he goes back again. This is around noon. He goes back to town. He sees people still standing there, invites them to come work at his vineyard. He's like, hey, you can come work on my vineyard too. I'll pay you what is fair. So they go back, join the others, and keep going with their work. A few hours later, you can probably tell what's going to happen. He goes back to the center of town. He gets more people to help and brings them back to the vineyard. He tells them the same thing, that he will pay them what is fair for their time and all of their hard work. You would think at this point in the story, he probably had all the help that he needed. I think it's also fair to say that the people that were working there all day were probably a little frustrated. Like, hey man, you hired us for this job. Why are you not just letting us do it? You keep bringing in all of these people to help us. What's going on? But even if they felt that way, they continued their work. One more time, around 5 o'clock, the owner goes back to the marketplace and sees people still standing around looking for work. He goes up to them and says, "Why are you guys still standing here? Why haven't you been working today?" They go on to explain to him that nobody has hired them. He offers to hire them and says that he will pay them what is fair. So they go back the last time and join the other workers at the vineyard. At the end of the day, the owner calls out to his worker that is in charge of all of the other workers that he has gathered throughout the day. He tells them to line them up and to pay them for all of their hard work. He does tell him to start with the people that got there last. So these are the people that have worked the least amount of time, and to work his way down to the people that were there first. So he gathers all the people up and he starts to pay them what they are due. And that's a normal day's work, which is typically a denarius. A denarius is a silver coin that usually is enough money to get them food and to rent a room for the night. So pretty sweet deal, even though it's not the money that you and I are used to. I obviously do not have a denarius because it is 2020. So what I do have is this little bottle of Skittles. So we're going to use this as an example of what they might have gotten paid for all of their hard work. So the people that had been there the least got this. So you would think, if you were there first, that if the people that had not really worked that hard or that long, that you would get even more than this. So the man in charge of the worker, per the owner's instructions, starts paying people. The first people get this. I'm going to move my Bible up and put it right here so where you can still kind of see it. He keeps going down the line, and everybody is getting paid the same. Now, if you are one of those first few workers there, how would you be feeling when you see all of this happen? All of these people that didn't work as long or as hard as you are getting paid the same. So maybe you think, I deserve a little bit more than that. I was in the sun all day. I've been here for 9+ hours. You would probably expect to get something like this big boy here. Look at that. Look at all these Skittles. Oh man, they're the mixed berry and tropical flavors too, in case you're wondering. They're super good. I haven't eaten very many of them. The workers that had been there all day felt like they had been cheated. They started to complain to the owner, and we're going to read how they complained about what they got paid. So this is Matthew chapter 20, and we are going to read verses 13 through 15, so I hope that you can join along with me. The owner answered one of them. "Friend," he said, "I'm being fair to you. Didn't you agree to work for the usual day's pay? Take your money and go. I want to give the one I hired last the same pay I gave you. Don't I have the right to do what I want with my own money? Do you feel cheated because I gave so freely to the others?" Jesus ends this story by bringing home this verse. This is verse 16. So those who are last will be first, and those who are first will be last. I can only imagine how these workers felt to know that you had worked so hard and you had been in the sun for so long and you got the exact same thing as everyone else. It's really easy for us to compare what we have with what others have. The bottom line that I want you guys to remember today is that we need to adjust our attitude. When you start to feel envious or jealous, whatever word you want to use, about somebody that has more than you, I want you guys to remember to adjust your attitude. It's not an easy thing to do. We have to stop ourselves, which is really hard. It's a lot easier when you have somebody in your life that can help remind you to adjust your attitude and to be thankful. The reality is that everything that we have has been a gift from God, and the only reason we have it is because God gave it to us in the first place. So it's not really ours to begin with. So even if we have a little less than someone else, or a lot less than someone else, that does not mean that God has not blessed us and given us things to be thankful for. And when all else fails, when you're really struggling, there's somebody that can really help you out with that. So take some time and pray and ask God to help you adjust your attitude and be thankful for what He has given you and who you have around you to help you do so. Let's go to God in prayer right now and ask Him to help us with this. God, I thank you so much for my friends. I thank you for our time together and your cool ways of teaching us more about you through stories. And I pray that you would be with us this week, that you would help us to be thankful for what we have, even if it's not what we asked for or as much as we asked for. God, I just pray that you would just be present with us, that we would notice the little things around us that you have blessed us with. God, especially with the holidays and not really knowing what it's going to be like with the virus, God, I just pray that you would give us a sense of peace and that we would be able to be grateful no matter what we have or what the situation is. In your name I pray. All right, parents, I have something I want to let you guys in on. You might have noticed this sign over here. If you haven't, that's okay. Showing you all about it now. This sign is just for you. I'm going to have different funny quotes from shows and different things that I really enjoy, and we're going to have a little bit of a competition. If you guys can figure out where this quote is from, let's be more specific. If you can figure out where this is from and who is saying this, I want you guys to take a minute and text me or email me your answer. If you can guess it correctly, I want you to text me or email me your answer. If you're right, then I will give you a $5 coffee gift card. As easy as pop. Well, if you know it, that is. So I'm not going to acknowledge it or give you any clues. I already acknowledged it. I'm not going to give you any clues or try to help you at all. This has got to be totally you. We are going to be a lot of it on the honor system. Don't Google it. If you know it, you know it. Sound great? I hope that it's a fun little thing that you guys can look forward to when you watch these videos as a family. If you don't know my email address, I'll put it on the screen below. And if you don't have my phone number, reach out to me that way and I'd be happy to get it to you so that we can be in touch in the future. I believe in you guys. You can do this. If you can survive what's going on right now, hopefully you can know that quote. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me this week. I'll see you next time.